Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Working with Working Man Ron Doyle. I want to do a little video presentation for you doing a vanity light. This is a Project Source 6 vanity light bar, chrome finish. It's 36 inches long by 4.6 inches tall and 2 inches thick. Of course it's counting the rings that go on it to hold the back shield on. But it's a model number 0024584. And I believe this is sold at Lowe's Home Improvement stores. Contractor loves this. This particular vanity light. They offer it in 2 bulb, 3 bulb, 4 bulb, 6 bulb, and 8 bulb. And the houses seem to be selling pretty good with this in there. Nobody's complaining, so that we're still installing them. But I want to give you a little video presentation of how to put this up. So we got a pancake box in the wall. We've got 8-foot ceilings in this particular bathroom. What I'm going to do is pull this out of the box and lay this out on my ladder. That I'm standing on a 4-foot Warner ladder to do this. The exhaust fan the vanity is not installed. It makes it a little easier for me. I want to get it done now before they put the vanity in on me. And then you have an issue of leaning over to do it. So get this thing unpackaged, and we're going to take this cover shield off. I put these cover shields on to keep the drywallers from roto-zipping and messing my wires up. We got our wire. Metal box, we've got to ground it. We've already got a green ground screw on the inside. So what we're going to do is strip this wire out. Go about 1/2 inch to 3/4 from the back of the box. Score down the wire to get to the end of the wire. Score heavy, and then pull your score cut back. You want to reduce the effects of slice and dice, which can cut this outer jacket on this NM wire and possibly cause a short. So grab your ground, push your paper back, cut your paper off. We're going to loosen our ground screw up. Take the ground wire. I'm going to loosen my ground screw. I'll usually bend a little loop out on my ground wire and then bend it clockwise around the screw. Now, what you want to be careful of on this particular box is you want to make sure that you don't get this wire caught up underneath of these ears that are in the box, because when you tighten your fixture up, you're going to pinch this wire against the box. You're going to cause it to arc fault and trip out on you, and then you're going to wonder what's causing the arc fault to trip on the lighting circuit. So what I'll do is I'll coil this wire in this box to use the majority of this wire up, and then get your ends, strip about 1/2 inch off of your ends. I'm going to cut a little bit of the ground off. Now take your rings off of there. There's just a straight pole ring, comes right off. And this particular light has got 6 of them. So buying this, make sure you buy your light bulbs before you leave the store. They don't come with light bulbs. I'm going to take our ground that's usually spiraled around the back, unspiral it. This particular light fixture, there's an up and a down, and the reason why is they have keyhole slots for the screws that require the drywall anchors. The keyhole slot, the hole you want facing down, you want the slot facing up, and you see an arrow. So you see an arrow. They got an arrow right there on it. We're gonna get our screws out of this box. And we're going to get our hardware pack. Now in this hardware pack, they supply you with 2 plastic anchors, 1/4 inch, and they supply you with the screws, two screws to use for the anchors, and then they supply you with a pack of screws for the box itself. Where this is a pancake, you don't have a depth, and this pancake is screwed to a stud. these screws won't go in fully without trimming them back. So I use the screws that come with the pancake to hold this fixture up. They also give you the 3 orange wire nuts that it takes to connect these 14 gauge wires to the actual vanity light itself. So this part can be a little tricky, is holding this and trying to put the wire nuts on at the same time. So you get your wire nuts out. Oops, don't drop them. Seems every time I start a video up, I get butterfingers. I must be getting nervous. All right, the nervousness went away. Let's get back to work. So take these wires. I'm going to clasp this in my hand. I got a pretty big hand. Get your wires set together. Spiral that loose strand together. If you have to, get somebody to hold this for you. Get your wife in here and hold it up for you. I'm sure she wouldn't mind. But I'll start with the ground. Try to be careful not to scar your wall up as you're hodgepodging this back together. Now I usually will overstart my stranded wire just about 1/8 of an inch to make sure that it's got the lead on the solid copper, and I'll give it a tug. I'm pulling on that strand to make sure it won't come out. So next I'm going to do the neutral, and lining it up 1/8 of an inch past the solid wire. We'll take the other wire nut and get that started. And you get it tight, make sure you pull on that stranded wire, make sure it won't come out. Then we're going to do the black last. And like I said, I'm doing an 1/8 inch lead on the stranded wire over the copper. And get that wire nut on there, tighten that up, and make sure that it won't pull out. All right, now that we got them installed, we're going to spiral this wire, and I'm going to try to leave my wire nuts in a vertical fashion. We are in a bathroom. You do have condensation present if somebody chooses not to turn the exhaust fan on, and it happens. Spiral them so they're all facing up like you can see there. Very carefully put this up there. Make sure that you're not pinching anything. Either the fixture wires or the wires behind it. Make sure you shift it around. Make sure you're not pinching anything. And then take your short screws that come with your pancake. And what I mean by pancake is a 1/2 inch thick box. And they vary in thickness depending on the manufacturer. I found them anywhere from 7/16 thick to 9/16 thick. And I'm going to take those screws and I'm going to snug them up. Now, one thing you want to pay attention to on doing this install, if you look down at the bottom of the box, if you were to flush this in the center of the box, this trim actually rests on the tops of these lamp sockets. It rests right up here. So what I like to do is push this up so that this is just above the cut edge of the sheetrock. And if you look down here, I've got about 1/8 of an inch exposure where they rotosed around this. And what that's going to allow you to do is when you put the light shield on, the light shield is going to hang a little bit lower than the actual plate. And that's going to give you a chance to cover up any of the drywall damage that's at the bottom of this box. So I'm going to take her to magnetic torpedo level. This is an Empire level, magnet on the bottom of it. I'm going to sit that up there, and I'm going to level that out. Now, this is where most people would grab a drill, and they would do a little indentation mark, or they would use a pencil to do an indentation mark. I like using a 6-in-1 screwdriver. This is the ideal with the nut driver end on it. And we've got level. And what I'm going to do is go over here to the top of the slot, the keyhole slot. I'm going to make a mark. Then I'm going to go on the opposite side and make sure we stay level on this. I'm going to put a mark on this side. like so. Now we know where level's at. Now we're going to take these 2 screws on the pancake and loosen them up just a little bit. Take this light fixture and we're going to twist it. You see I got an indentation mark here. And I've got one over here. We didn't have to take this light off. Now, to save in aiding the stress on this copper, what I'm going to do is put this back on loosely, kind of rest my hand on it. Now, most people don't know this. This is actually a 1/4 inch shank. What I do is I'll put it on an indentation mark and I'll screw it into the sheetrock, making the hole. It saves you on your tool count that you need to do this job. Now, if you plunge through and you find that it's hollow, you use the anchors. But if you're pushing and you feel like you're hitting something and you're about 1/2 inch in, you know you got a wood stud that you can screw into. We get wood on this side. We don't need the anchor over here, we just need the screw. Over here, we're going to get this one started. I'm going to rock it back and forth. Now on that one, we need an anchor. That one went in. And with this nice being a 1/4 inch hole, we're going to take our plastic supplied anchors that they give you in this light. We're only going to use one of them. We're going to take the butt end of a screwdriver. I usually put my anchors in so the slot is horizontal, because if you're beside a joist, you don't want this to open up beside a joist and push its way back out. So I turn this slot so that it is horizontal. I'll put it in the wall and give it a couple taps and tap it in. And you're going to take the supplied screws that they give you with it. Take your lens back off, your decorative metal shield. Pivot that back. Now if your holes don't line up, you can work this around until your hole lines up. And get these screws started. Now don't snug them up just yet. You want to make sure that they're bottomed out onto the holes that you made. This one was with the anchor and this one is in direct wood. Make sure that it didn't get out of whack. Put your level back up there. So now you can possibly do an adjustment on it. And get it fine-tuned to where it needs to be. I'll get my outer screws snugged up, and then what I'll do is I'll snug the screws up to my pancake, like so. This is real thin metal, so be careful not to over tighten these two. They will pull through. Take your shield, your decorative cover, place that on the wall. Make sure that this covers the damage that's below the bottom of the box. And take your rings and push them on. Fairly straightforward. Now, the one with the listing and labeling and maximum bulb size, I'll face that directly up toward the ceiling. You want to make sure you push this end onto the socket first, not this end because it won't grab anything, but I'll put this one all the way over to the corner and I'll face it up toward the ceiling so it's not as obvious. Now we're going to get our light bulbs and screw our light bulbs in. Now these are GE basic LEDs, soft white, 40 watt replaceable. These are dimmable. There's 4 bulbs in a pack. These are G25 medium base. Now with these bulbs you got to be real careful. I've actually seen these bulbs come out of the store and they're paper thin. They're meant to be decorative. You've got to be real careful inserting these bulbs, because what I'll find out is the first spot they'll break is where the metal meets the globe itself. You want to keep it in the palm of your hand. Do a nice little spin on it. If it don't feel right, don't force it, because you will break this thing. And it's possible it's going to slice you open, and we don't need you going to the hospital. And if you get one, and it sounds like it's cracking and you haven't got it snug, you're better off to probably back it out as slow as you can. Possibly have gloves on when you do it, and eye protection. I've got sunglasses, but clear eye protection would really help in preventing slicing and dicing, which we don't need. Really nice thing about these bulbs is they come in this blister pack, and blister pack comes open pretty easily. So far so good, don't hear any cracking. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our install for a 6-bulb vanity light with a nice decorative chrome shield. I hope you all thought this video was helpful and insightful in any way. If you like it, please consider giving me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for future videos on things electricians do. Love that you all are here and love that you all are watching and learning. If there's any video ideas of tips and tricks or just a mere suggestion of things that you would like to learn about the electrical trades, hey, shoot me a line. Drop it down in the comments. Love to hear from you. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day.